welcome back to Foster English. Today we're going to be talking about the order of adjectives. There are 9 different kinds of adjectives. Hopefully you remember that an adjective is a word that describes or modifies a noun. But you can have many words describing or modifying a single noun or a group of nouns. There's really a lot of different combinations. However, there is a particular order that the adjectives should follow. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The first kind of adjective is called the determiner. Determiners are words like articles, possessive adjectives, or words describing numbers or amounts. So examples would be the articles a and the, which will have their own video later on because they can get a little confusing. Possessive adjectives would be words like my, your, their, our, his, her, whatever, okay? And then we have words like both, all, few, many, 73, 582, okay? We have words pertaining to the amount or the number of a thing. And there could be some of these mixed together, right? So we might say both of my something, okay? In which case we have the number and the possessive. But these are adjectives that are determiners, and their function is to sort of mark the beginning of the group of words that will end with a noun. Determiners mark the start of the noun phrase. Whatever words are going to constitute the entire idea of the noun. What thing is being talked about and how is it going to be described? Next, we have adjectives of opinion. Adjectives of opinion are talking not necessarily about anything that is an opinion, because a lot of these other categories will include opinions, but these are opinions that don't fit into any of the other categories. Opinions of taste, aesthetic, or quality. Words like wonderful, amazing, horrible, great, disgusting, boring, fantastic. These are words of opinion pertaining to appearance, aesthetic, quality, etc. Next, we have adjectives of size. Here we have the idea of opinions being relative. As a child might think a really big ball is really big, and an adult might think it's not that big a ball. I've seen much bigger. So opinions here may exist, but they're going to exist within the context of the category of size. And this is now true of all of the other categories. There might be opinions nestled in these categories, but they will adhere to the overarching category. Words pertaining to size might be big, small, great, minuscule, tiny, massive, huge. These could also be words not just relating to sort of three-dimensional space, but also mass or weight, okay? So anything dealing with a measure of dimensions would be an adjective of size. Not all measurements though, because the next category are adjectives of age. So adjectives that are dealing with measures of time, whether something is young or old, ancient, brand new. These are adjectives of age. Next, we have adjectives of shape. And here I want to draw your attention to an idea that is actually really important, not just with adjectives, but with all different kinds of words. Think of some of the shape descriptions that you know. Words like circular, triangular, rectangular, octagonal. These adjectives of shape are created by adding an ending to another word, right? So circle becomes circular. Triangle becomes triangular. Rectangle becomes rectangular. So we're adding the suffix ular to the noun circle, triangle, rectangle in order to create the adjective form of the word. And this is, generally speaking, how suffixes work, right? We're adding endings to words to give them context or meaning as a specific kind of word. So just be aware that this is a good indicator, suffixes of kinds of words, different kinds of words, but they are not guarantees. Adjectives of shape are the fifth category. Next, we have adjectives of color. Think of the colors you know. Red, orange, yellow, green. Maybe if you're like me, you think green, but maybe if you have a more refined color palette, your greens might include sage, lime, pine. But all of these words are also readily used as nouns. If somebody says, I have a bright lime, and I stop there, or I zone out, or I don't listen to the complete thought, then I might think, well, yeah, okay, they have a citrus fruit. But if they say, I have a bright lime car out in the parking lot and we're going to drive to the beach, then that's a totally different picture. And this is why you don't want to mix up and put a word that could be used or should be used as an adjective in the wrong spot and make it sound like that's the thing being talked about. That's one of the reasons why the order of adjectives can be very important. Sometimes you'll get away with getting words out of order, and maybe even you'll think it sounds better in a different order. Just be aware that this is the grammatical order of adjective. The next kind of adjective are adjectives of origin. And here, again, we can find a lot of these suffixes or endings of words to indicate that they are adjectives. Adjectives of origin are commonplace with nation states or countries. Sometimes we even have adjectives of origin pertaining to a particular city. The example I like to think of is Parisian, right? I might have a Parisian something, and that means it comes from Paris. But every country has some sort of adjective form that we use for people, places, things, or ideas that originate or come from that country. These are words like Japanese, Chinese, Lebanese, or Spanish, English, Turkish, or Canadian, American, Indian, Brazilian, Peruvian, Kenyan. All of the countries will have some form of a word that indicates that something comes from that country. And some of them don't follow these suffix patterns. French, Thai, Dutch. These are adjectives of origin. Next, we have adjectives of material. So this could be describing the clothing that you're wearing, whether it's a cotton polyester shirt, or a silk tie, which I am not wearing, or a wooden chair, a plastic cup, a paper bag. Adjectives of material will answer the question, what is the person, place, thing, or idea made of? Or what constitutes the person, place, thing, or idea? Lastly, we have adjectives of purpose. These describe the reason or the function, and here I want to highlight another kind of word, which are adjectives, but let me see if you can sort of pick up on it. So you might have a writing desk, or running shoes, or lighting equipment. All of these adjectives of purpose that I'm using that indicate what the thing is used for all have the same sort of pattern. The kind of word I'm using here is the present participle. Present participles are verb-related words. They're verb ing words, but they're not being used as verbs. Instead, they're being used as adjectives. You can also have past participles, which do the same thing. They are ed or other past tense related words that are not being used as verbs, but they are being used as adjectives. Many of these will be in the opinion category. There are present participles in the opinion category as well. Words like exciting, excited, cause and effect. Ing words, when they're opinion words, would be cause type words, whereas ed or past participle words would be sort of effect words. But these different kinds of adjectives, being participles, are words that can very easily be mistaken as verbs if you're not aware of their context. This is why the order of adjectives matters. Why you start at the determiner and you work your way through until you get to the noun, the person, place, thing, or idea being described. You can't have a verb somewhere in the middle. So if it looks like a verb, it's actually being used as an adjective. It should all make sense. Regardless of how many adjectives you have describing the person, place, thing, or idea, the order should be as follows. Determiner, opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, and then purpose. Those are the 9 kinds of adjectives in the order that they should appear. Thank you for your time. Please like, share, subscribe, ask questions, communicate, because that's what this is all about.